Hey folks, it's a beautiful day. We need to talk about where you get your information. The corporation's been putting propaganda in your hands that says things like, this is the best and final offer of the corporation. This is the best we can do. But you have to remember that they say that while they are spending $1 billion on buying a new company for Purolator. So this is obviously a lie. The news media is not your friend. They're not here to push a narrative of justice or fairness. They're here to push a narrative of billionaires who own them or the governments who sponsor them. The government is not your friend either. They're the ones who put us into this mess. They're the ones who are backing up Doug Ettinger and his plan to privatize the post office. So the only friend you have is yourself and your union, and it's your union because that is you. You need to be a part of it. You need to come to the meetings. You need to participate in the process. And if you're not going to do that, at least you could do is pay attention to the bulletins. We send them out locally in the mail-outs that go to the union boards. We send them out via email, right to your email address. They're available on their national website. They send them out if you get their emails. And sometimes I talk about them here. So voting is going strangely. I mean, for me, it would seem to be a breeze. But for others, it's been challenging. There have been others who have called the number and gotten a voicemail and says they'll get back to them within 2 or 3 days. But a number I'm dealing with right now who called the number and nobody answered. I confirmed the number they're calling and it is the right number, but nobody answered. So I'm not sure how they're going to get their PIN number. If you have any other questions about that, please write to feedback@cupw-sttp.org. I'll try and put it in the comments here. And I know a member who, I'm not sure exactly on the rules, but they resigned and they got to vote. So that's sketchy. Still see how it goes. I guess that's why they've got all this time, because they're losing it. The other thing that kind of bothers me is that maybe they wanted this time so they could feed you propaganda because they don't think they're going to get a yes vote, but they want to feed you propaganda, which is what they're doing right now. The CIRB has proven to be an unreliable body defending workers. Unreliable is a charitable word. They're not into, like, when we challenged Canada Post's direct contact with you about the contract, they said, we're just going to wave that away and we'll tell you why later. It's imperative that this vote happen. So the vote is more important than the reality of the system and the fairness of it. But anyway, let's talk about some of the things that could happen if you vote yes. Actually, will happen if you vote yes. The CIRB decided to allow our grievances to go into this vote. The union challenged that, but the CIRB is apparently letting it happen. And some of those grievances are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the first one up is probably $300 million. And that grievance is for the COLA payments. So when we extended our contract, Canada Post chose to restart the value from which we start our COLA payments. This was not agreed upon, nor was it signed off on anything, but they've been doing it that way. So there's about $300 million in the lurch, just maybe $5,000-6,000 a person. So when you vote yes, that's gone. Then there's the grievances about sick days. Sick days are, so during COVID, the Canadian government chose to give all federal workers via the Labor Code 10 sick days. The Canada Post Corporation asked for an exemption to that, and they were denied by the government. They said, nope, you got to do it just like everybody else. So since that day, the corporation has been giving us 6 of these sick days, which means that there's 4 for every year that they put it in place that are not accounted for, that you're not being paid for. So it's a little over $1,000 a head for 4 days. So there's 2.5 years of those sick days just sitting there for the taking, $2,500 And Purolator just won this grievance. So we're on the way to winning this grievance as well. So that's another $2,500 that's just gone, and $1,000 a year that will just evaporate forever, because we can do that with our agreements. We can apparently give away our rights under the labor code. So you need to think about that. Is the $600 that they're going to give you for a bonus payment after taxes really worth losing $8,000? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the case. There's a reason why they're putting these grievances on the block, and it's to try and save themselves $500 million in money they owe you. So, speaking of more local issues, yesterday I got notice from Canada Post that they're going to be deleting 9 positions at the plant. 3 of them are PO5 positions, 6 of them are PO4 positions on shift 2 and 3. It's a damn highway out here. Anyway, so those 3 PO5 positions we're going to fight. And the reason we're going to fight that is because the shop stewards have been tracking how much work the PO4s have been doing in the PO5 department. So while they're not calling the PO5s, they are asking PO4s, they're soliciting them to do the work. So we've been keeping track of that. So now that I have the names of people after the stewards meeting today, we're going to challenge them on that. No guarantees of success, but we're going to challenge them on that. And if they continue to delete those positions, we'll be grieving that process because of the fact that they've been using all these hours from PO4s to do PO5 work. PO4 is a little more challenging. People complain all the time about being overburdened or working on 2 runouts or both sides of a machine or having the rotation of duties challenged. But we're not getting that many grievances in regards to that. And I need these grievances. I need this detail. Because at the last shift bid, we had members come from the work floor and talk about their positions. And they just said, oh, I don't need those people. I don't need those people. I can't justify it. I can't justify it. Well, we need those grievances. And you have to do it. Because if you don't, then we're just not going to get anything done. Right? So I need you guys to put grievances in for working 2 runouts. I need you to put grievances in for having your rotation of duties skipped when they pull you off into another section. I need you to put in grievances for working both sides of the machine. I need you to put in grievances for anything that's outside of your normal duties. You need to do it because that's the way we win. The grievances, maybe they don't want to handle them right away, but that becomes data that I can go to these meetings and I can put down in front of them. Here's the 300 grievances from the last 2 months about people being pulled off the rotation of duties. So obviously you do know the need of people in this section because you had to move them. Here's all the grievances I have of you using 2 runouts. So you obviously need more people because you need these runouts covered, right? Both sides of a machine. All these different things. I need those grievances to fight these challenges because they're losing your jobs. Your jobs, my jobs, everybody's jobs are on the block. And we need the data to be able to fight that. So seriously consider that. Other than that, this is a fight that's going to keep going. It's going to go for a while. So we need you to participate, right? You are your union, and the data you give me allows me to fight for you. But they can just ignore my email as fast as they can ignore anybody's email. So I need that data, all right? Have a great night.